Nothing wrong with the car. They're just tough to beat.
Tough to beat. Well, you put out a nice show out there, working your way a little bit back, being able to get this podium for round 9. Who would you like to thank today?
My dad, my mom, my grandma, State 48 side-by-sides, 518 Designs, 2X Motorsports, the American Legion, Post 35, and everyone else who supports me.
Wonderful. Nice job. Good to see you up here, adding some more points for tomorrow's round 10. Nice job. Heading over here to Brody Klein. Brody, points leader going into round 9, adding some more things. We keep talking about how it's important for the championship because we've got one more round. You've got 2 great guys over here, another great stack field who was all racing in 250. How was it for you today?
Good.
Wonderful. Who would you like to thank today?
My mom, my dad, these guys for challenging me, Mega Desert, Serveworks Plumbing, Foresters, and everyone else.
Nice job. Congratulations once again to you. And heading over here, Murphy McKay, you are on a roll. We got a chance to talk for round 7 and 8 and adding another top spot here for round 9. You're shaking your head like you know exactly what's going on. You are really coming into your own the second half of the season. How was it for you today?
Really good. I would have to thank God for make sure that I didn't spin out on corner 3, and yeah.
Well, you've done it here like we were talking about in the booth, that your fastest lap times and your fastest speed was round 8, so that translated over here for round 9. Good job. Anybody else you want to thank?
I want to thank my mom, my dad, my sister, my cousins, 2X Motorsports, Economy Plumbing, Brian Forrester, the Forrester family, the Hogness brothers, and MFR, Cloud Break, and Tucson Equipment Haulers.
Wonderful. Well, one more round of applause for your top 3 finishers in 250 modified. Back up to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Tiffany. Yeah, great run. And like I said, points battle heating up in that one. We are going to have a great finale tomorrow. So one to watch tomorrow is 250 modified for sure. Now we are continuing on with our youth-filled morning. All of our youth classes happening this morning. We'll give you kind of the rundown of what's to come here this morning. Let me get my handy-dandy paper out. We started out with 170 production, moved into 250 modified. It'll be 170 limited up next. As you see, we've got a group of, I believe, 16 drivers going to be hitting the track. After 170 limited, we're going to move on to 800 open. We got a young driver that's going to be doing multiple duty this weekend. He's, I believe, making his debut here in the 800 open class. We also have youth production going to be coming up, and then we're going to have youth restricted, one of the hottest contested races that we've seen so far the last few rounds has been youth restricted. Looking forward to that feature. And we're going to wrap up the morning, and then we are going to take an intermission. And we come back, it is going to be pro class racing. It is going to kick off with Pro NA. Then we're going to move into Pro Am. After Pro-Am, it's going to be Pro Production with Pro-Am Turbo. And then after that, Sportsman NA and Sportsman Turbo. We're going to take another short intermission, and then we are going to wrap up with some of our hottest features of the day, Pro Side-by-Side SR1 and Pro Light to wrap things up. Very much looking forward to the dad race that is going to be coming tomorrow after the season wraps up. So, Tiffany Stone back in the booth. What do you think about this dad race, Tiffany?
This is where I wish I was a dad, just to be able to race this against the 170 limited. It's going to be a little underpowered.
It's going to be like a cup race. We're going to stagger it. I don't know. I'm just saying that. I'm creating stuff.
We should stagger it. We should stagger it like the Pro 2, Pro 4 race, where the cup races. How much time do we give them? 3 minutes?
I don't know. We'll figure that out. But I think we should stagger. If they're in a slower class car, we'll just stagger the start.
Yeah, we're going to stagger. Jim and I are going to create all the rules for this today.
Well, I think it's kind of a shoot from the hip thing to begin with, so I think that we might have some legs here.
Well, do we need a 30-second board as well? You can totally.
We're doing standing starts now with a 30-second board?
Should we?
Oh, who's going to be well, if it's a dad race, I mean, we got to have a 30-second. Who are we going to have hold the 30-second board and run off, like Supercross style?
We'll have Marnie do it.
Oh, okay.
Marnie is the one with all of the knowledge, all of the stats, everything. I think she would be great at it.
We're creating stuff out here, so we have no stake in the game. I know I threw in earlier today, I said we got to do a Max's Tires fast lap for whoever's fastest. So I'm giving away medals and trophies way above my pay grade, but we're just creating chaos.
Listen, it is the championship finale round. This is what you do. You work all season long. You work 10 incredible rounds to make sure that your kids are there on top of the box. Everything is happy. Everybody's happy. And then this is your moment to shine. If we don't get Joe Chapman out there, then I'm over it.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that'll be funny. Yeah, well, not funny. It'd be great.
Right?
It's going to be fun to watch. It's definitely going to be fun. So, all right, looks like we've got our drivers gridded up. This is a big one. 16 drivers. This is by far our biggest class, has been all year. 170 limited. Obviously, we saw 170 production earlier. So the biggest difference in these cars are going to look very much the same from the outside, but they definitely have a little more speed, a little more pep. The other ones were momentum-based, and these are definitely momentum-based, but I think one of the big things with these is it's all about the speed because they can choose different lines. It becomes a little racier. I think it's not necessarily as follow the leader as much, where this one you've really got to hone your racecraft to be fast in.
Absolutely. And then when we're looking at the first two on there as well, we've already seen a name, Grayson Gentry, earlier today. But right underneath him with a few points just separating that lead, we've got Zeppelin, Rooster, Ledbetter. Zeppelin is an early dominator who barely lost anything through what we've seen. And so it's kind of cool to see him come together. He's frequently in the top three. You know, his best lap is somewhere between 112 and 115. So if anybody can take down Grayson Gentry at the beginning, it's going to be Rooster, just comparing times to times and drive styles to drive styles.
Yeah, Rooster Ledbetter come into his own this year. I love this kid. Got a little bit of swagger. He's always smiles. He's got it. Got the bright orange car, stuff like that. One of those. You look through. The divisions and stuff like that. And a lot of kids. We love all the kids out here. And then there's some that you just look and they go. They got. What do they call that? And certain things, the it factor. I feel like Rooster's got the it factor.
I would have churched it up and said, je ne sais quoi.
Oh, look at you.
I don't even know what that means. I'm just regurgitating things.
We're shooting from the hip out here, like I said. Things are getting loose early on a Saturday.
They are. But if we're looking at the next two ones of obviously Kaysen Stowell, Stetson Wyman, Braden Lucas, they're all great drivers as in this class. Everybody has that opportunity, not, just the front runners, but this is the whole thing that we were talking about. You've got to be super technical with your passing. You've got to be super set up on what you kind of want to do. And we're going to showcase that this is sometimes one of the best racings that we see the entire round.
Yeah, no, and I was talking to somebody off air earlier, and I said, these 170 divisions sometimes is the best racing of the weekend. And I think a lot of people at home, they pass it off. Oh, it's kids racing. I'm going to tune in later. I don't. You want to watch this. This is great racing as it brings us to our R&R Steel 170 limited points. And as we had said before, Grayson Gentry 291 points leading. But look at this, Tiffany, the top four, how close they are.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. Each one of them know exactly what it takes to win. Some of them have made the podium consistency, and that's what we always talk about for championships. Not necessarily winning every single round, but showing up, finishing all your laps, getting the checker, and getting the consistency that you need to be able to be a contender for the championship.
Yeah, so we got 291 for Grayson Gentry. Zeppelin Ledbetter 4 points back. Kaysen Stowell 7 points back. Stetson Wyman 13 points back. So 13 points separating first through fourth in the points championship with 2 rounds remaining. And we go back to Braden Lucas, Mason Atterbury, Madden McCormick, and the rest of the field. But those top four, what a tight points battle, which brings us to our Liqui-Moly 170 starting grid. Tiffany, take us through.
So in row 1, we've got Grayson Gentry, Zeppelin Ledbetter. Row 2, Kaysen Stowell and Roxon Brooks. So if you know Jarrett Brooks, he's bringing his son out here. It's cool to see him as a legend for Pro 2 and Pro Light. Pro 2, Pro Light. Then Brooks Hopkins, Stetson Wyman. Row 4, Maddox McCormick and Mason Delgarian.
Yeah, Roxon Brooks' dad, world champion, Jarrett Brooks. So, a lot of lineage there in the Brooks camp. Very fortunate to have them out there. We saw him one of the rounds earlier this year out of Glen Helen out racing. So great to see Roxon back out here with his dad, Jarrett. In action is our 019 pace vehicle bringing these drivers around. It's going to be Grayson Gentry And Zeppelin Ledbetter taking us to the green. Grayson Gentry, I mean, a burner of a qualifying lap with a 1:13.7. So Grayson Gentry going to be the fast man out here. The one to beat Zeppelin Ledbetter there was a 1:14.077. So about 3 or 4 tenths of a second back was him in qualifying. As we are looking for the green flag, 019 pace car pulled off. Green flag is out. We're racing. Look at that, Zeppelin Ledbetter up top, Grayson Gentry to the bottom. Zeppelin going to try and do it the hard way. Nothing there. Looks like Zeppelin now going to drop way back, getting hung out to dry on the outside. They're running down this back stretch, up and over the jump. It is Grayson Gentry leading. Cason Stowell in the mix.
Then we've seen Roxon Brooks just move up. Did he move up into third, or is he side-by-side with Zeppelin right now?
It looks like he is side-by-side with Zeppelin. That is a 696 there, that bright pink car, Mason Atterbury. Easy to spot. That is a 194 in the second spot, Cason Stowell following Grayson Gentry. And like you had said, Zeppelin Ledbetter getting a little challenge there from Roxon Brooks, the number 77. Down to the bottom, look at that, Roxon Brooks.
Just about to say that it seems like he's picking those lines because what we were talking about, a little bit more speed, a little bit more momentum. You can't follow the leader. You've got to pick those lines, and you've got to pick them at the correct times.
Roxon Brooks really trying to look for a podium here. Father, one of the best in the business.
Yeah, we were just talking to him yesterday, and he said that it was a little bit different being a team owner / dad. He wants to get out there, but he's been given some advice to Roxon, and he said that this class is the best class to get your kid in CORR right now because it's one of the most competitive classes as we're seeing, especially for the top 4 only being separated by 13 points.
Yeah, so our current running order in lap 2, Gentry, Stowell, Ledbetter, Brooks, and we got Hopkins, Wyman, McCormick, Bodden, McKay, and Atterbury your top 10. Ryan Jones starting in dead last in 16th, moving his way up into the 11th spot. Great run there by Ryan Jones. That is Zeppelin Ledbetter, easy to spot, bright chrome wheels with the orange paint. Number 77 of Brooks. I love that. His dad used to always have some pretty wild paint schemes, and looks like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Look at that. We got battle there. It looked like that was Wyman. This is for the 6th spot. Trying to put some pressure on Hopkins. Tomasi in the mix as well. Look at that, everybody bunched up.
I like this side-by-side battle right here. But it's once again showcasing that you got to move around. It literally seems like they're using the entire track and making different moves at different points within the lap. I don't really see a lot of the drivers taking the same exact lines in the lap and really trying to make the movement and trying to be pretty wide.
Yeah, definitely trying to be wide. Look at that, Tomasi. Hopkins all the way to the outside. Tomasi doing a great job of blocking. Down to the bottom, up top, nothing there. That is the number 56 of Wyman trying to get in this. Wyman in that points battle. Wyman really hot earlier on this season. Had some struggles as of late.
Yeah, he hasn't won since round 4, but he did have a three-peat, rounds 2, 3, and 4, taking that top spot. Super smooth, super consistent rider. It's just showcasing once again how dominant this class is.
Yeah, lots of different drivers have been streaky this season. Gentry, obviously the most recent one. Looks like it seems like one driver gets hot, and then they have a little run there for a couple rounds, and then somebody else catches up. They get hot for a couple rounds. That's why we have this 4-way shootout for the points battle here in the finale weekend.
Well, and it's really nice to see that newcomer of Roxon Brooks, number 77, making his way. Obviously, he's got some of that in his genes. His dad's a great driver. He's had over 40 different career wins, 70-some podiums, so he's showcasing his son. I bet you he gave a little bit of some knowledge to Roxon as well.
Yeah, great driver coach, let's put it that way. If the kid listens to their father. That's the thing I've learned. A lot of kids don't like to listen to their dad. They'll listen to somebody else, but they're not going to listen to dad.
We're all that way. It doesn't change with age.
No, it definitely does not. But Roxon Brooks doing work out there right now, looking to battle for a podium as we get a glimpse here of kind of that second pack. We got kind of the breakaway pack. Then we got that second pack right there. That is Zeppelin Ledbetter and Roxon Brooks. Zeppelin been able to hold off Brooks thus far, but Brooks really putting a lot of pressure on Zeppelin Ledbetter this race.
Absolutely. And going back to what we were talking about, seeing if Roxon listening to Jarrett at all. Jarrett was telling me yesterday, he's like, now he's at this place where he's like, Dad, I get it. I know exactly what I'm doing. Just hear me out. I know what I'm doing. And clearly he does. So it's probably a win-win combination of both.
Yeah, I got this, Dad.
I got this. And we're going to see if Zeppelin's going to be able to take that inside, close it a little bit, pushed out too far, it seems like, but was still able to hold Roxon off.
What would be the kid equivalent of hold my beer? Hold my Capri Sun?
Hold my Capri Sun, yes.
Yeah, he's telling Dad, hold my Capri Sun, I got this.
Right?
All right, so that is Roxon Brooks putting a lot of pressure on Zeppelin Ledbetter. I mean, a lot of pressure. This is for a podium spot. Right now it's Gentry in the lead, Kaysen Stowell on the second. Oh, bobble by Ledbetter, and that is going to allow Roxon Brooks really to get into the mix now. Zeppelin going to have a lot of pressure from Roxon Brooks.
Well, and what I've been noticing a little bit for those last two laps, it seems like he's pushing out just a little bit further. I'm not sure, like we were talking about, is he trying to make himself a little bit wider, or is that the fastest line? Or is he just trying to cut him off? Because now we're going to see Roxon try to take that inside because he's going a little bit higher, but Zeppelin is able to hold him off, pull back.
Yeah, as we get these aerial footage, that's a great point, Tiffany. But look at Roxon Brooks' lines, much different. Wider line, he's carrying a lot of speed out of the corners. That's some veteran stuff. His dad in his ear, I'm sure. But, man, I mean, out of the corners, Roxon Brooks has a lot of speed compared to Zeppelin Ledbetter. Right,
well, let's look at some times right now. So they're both hitting at almost identical times for those last ones, 1:15.398, 1:15.326. Before that, they're both hitting 1:14, so exact same pace, just different line choice.
All right, so Grayson Gentry, that is the 208. That is our leader. Out front, points leader as well. Got to give Grayson Gentry a lot of credit. When cards are down, this kid is delivering.
And now we're looking at Knox Penrod as well.
Yep, that is a 4:14. All right, so back up front with Grayson Gentry, the 208. Got the stars and stripes flying off the back. Going down the back stretch. Heading into turn number 2. Turn number 2 has become a tricky one. Seen a lot of action this season in turn number 2. Starts getting rutted up. Cars will kind of go up on the bike, spin out, bump, bang as you go into that big ski jump. 194, that's Kaysen Stowell trying to chase down Grayson Gentry. Grayson not making any mistakes today. Stowell been very, very fast. Just no chance to catch Grayson Gentry thus far.
No, and looking at numbers, it looks like between that last loop, Grayson pulled a 112. And then Kaysen pulled a 113, so he's about a second faster than him. And I'm wondering if it's based on this choice of line that he's taking it, or he's just putting on a clinic and not making any mistakes.
Yeah, Grayson Gentry's current time almost a second faster than his qualifying time. We want to talk about the track getting fast. I mean, you're running in the race faster than qualifying. It's not often that happens. The white flag flies for our points leader, Grayson Gentry. All right, Gentry now going down the backstretch. Got a couple of jumps down the backstretch. Now got a bit of a lead, just trying to hit his marks, not make any mistakes. We've seen some last lap bobbles so far today. You don't want that to happen. Grayson Gentry taking it easy, tiptoeing through that corner, up and over the big ski jump. All right, down into that third corner. Down to the bottom, gonna let her drift outside, carry his speed up to that triple. 1, 2, 3 over the triple. Really hitting his marks. Gentry down low. Looks like he's slowed up a bit on this lap, just trying to protect, knows he has lots of room. He's not wanting to make any mistakes, needs this win for the championship. As we get a look here again of Roxon Brooks trying to chase down Zeppelin Ledbetter. This has been a battle all day. Got about 3 corners remaining. I don't know if there's going to be any time for Roxon Brooks, but he is going to try and make it happen here. Max's flag, checkered flag, is flying for Grayson Gentry. There's going to be Kaysen Stowell in the second spot. Roxon Brooks going to make a run on Zeppelin Ledbetter, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Rooster Ledbetter taking home the third spot. Roxon Brooks just outside the podium in the number 77 in the fourth spot. Wow, what a race there, especially for the third spot. Roxon Brooks and Zeppelin Ledbetter battling back and forth all day, and in the end it was Rooster Ledbetter taking on that third and final podium spot. And we are going to catch up with our podium finishers when we return out here to Firebird in round number 9 of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series.
The Championship Off-Road Racing Series is brought to you by Rugged Radios. From the green flag to the checkered, they keep racers connected, crews informed, and fans closer to the action.
When it comes to suspension tuning, there's only one name we trust: Double E Racing. Double E Racing. We help build champions.
My name is George Hamill with Starstream Pro. Technology has really given us the opportunity to showcase off-road racing. Now we can go live from any car, anytime on the planet.
The sport needs something like Starstream, and it's here.
To be able to be one of the first people to have it in their trucks is going to be pretty cool, and hopefully it's a great thing for the sport.
This small computer and a GoPro, a couple cables and a Starlink, you can watch all the in-car cameras live.
With Starstream combining to a Starlink network, it's so easy to plug this in. On our short course truck, we actually have it all self-contained. 2 battery packs, one powers the Starlink, one powers the Starstream. Super easy to take off and put on our desert car later when we leave the track.
It's never been done before at this level. The fact that we're going to be able to be on live TV and they can check in to multiple different drivers within seconds of each other, I think this is going to be a great thing for the sport.
Welcome back to Firebird Motorsports Park, round number 9 of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series. I am Jim Beaver calling the action. I had Tiffany Stone in the booth. She had to step away because we're going to get to some podiums here in a few minutes. So you get a beautiful aerial view here of Firebird Motorsports Park. That is our pit area. See all the semis and all the tractor trailers there. Is going to look here at the mountains just outside here of Firebird Motorsports Park in the background, that kind of the shadows of Phoenix. As, we just wrapped up with 170 limited racing, and man, what a run by Grayson Gentry, leading that one wire to wire. We had Kaysen Stowell in the second spot, just not enough to chase down Grayson Gentry. The battle was really between Zeppelin Ledbetter and Roxon Brooks for that third spot. Battling the entire day, it was Zeppelin Ledbetter coming away victorious. So you see the R&R Steel Racing water truck laying down some more water. Track, beautiful conditions. I mean, you can't ask for better racing conditions and a better racetrack than we have today. Just with that slight wind, the moisture, the track, I think by the time we get to our pro divisions later today, this might be the fastest track we've had all season long. But speaking of 170 limited and Tiffany Stone, she is standing by with our podium finishers.
Thank you so much. We're going to talk to our third place finisher. We got Rooster over here. Zeppelin, nice job. We really saw that you were holding on to your lines against Roxon Brooks. You know, his dad is a great driver, bringing him over here, and you were able to hold him off. Good job on that. How was your race for you today?
It was good. I was battling with Brooks, He was right behind me. We were side by side at one point.
And you were able to come over, capitalize, and hold your line. Nice job on that. Absolutely love it. Great driving. Who would you like to thank today?
I'd like to thank my family, Andy, I'd like to thank my family, Andy at Lucia Report, Rev 6 Battle Sports, Mother the Moore, Abed the Plumber, and I like to thank all my boys at Ignite for keeping me strong between races, and I like to thank all my other sponsors that helped me get here.
Wonderful. Nice job. They definitely kept you strong between races. Good job adding some more points for the season. All right, we're going to head over here to our second place finisher, Kaysen Stowell. Kaysen, nice job as well over there. We love seeing this. You're adding some more points. You were driving, trying to figure out specific lines to take. You shaking your head like you knew exactly what you were doing. So tell me about your day.
It was good. First corner, I got on the inside of Ledbetter and kept it and tried my best to pass Gentry, and I couldn't.
Well, you're showing what consistency can do, especially in this class. It's a stacked field. You're up here in second place. Who would you like to thank today?
My mom, my dad, 2X Motorsports, Lone Star Racing.
This one's heating up. We've got some battles that are heating up tomorrow. We are going to crown some champions, and there is a lot of points that are left out there, and I'm really excited. The stage has been set for tomorrow in a lot of these youth divisions, but we still have quite a few youth divisions coming up. But before we get to those, I want to shift gears a little bit, talk about some of our amazing partners in the series, and one of those is our partners at 019, and earlier this weekend, we were able to catch up with them. All right, we've got Joey here with 019 Wraps out here trackside at Firebird Motorsports Park. Tell us a little bit about the involvement with these side-by-side racers and the series here.
Yeah, so we've been out here. Our shop is based out of Tempe. We've been doing some work here with CORR for the last few years, wrapping the side-by-sides, wrapping their trailer, and just, trying to help out as many racers as we can out here with side-by-side wraps, trailer wraps, event tents, and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, in addition to wraps, they also have full tent. You guys do easy ups. What else do you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. Full automotive and commercial window tint, residential window tint. Keep your homes, and then the vehicle's cool too. So do all of that. Anything that you really need printed, we can get it done for you. So, but that's signs, banners, tents, vehicle wraps, you name it.
Well, things are heating up out here at Firebird Motorsports Park and 019. They're going to keep you cool all summer long. Yeah, great to have 019 a part of the family. And speaking of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series, we do have our Rugged Radios 170 limited results that from the previous race. It was Grayson Gentry on top, Kaysen Stowell, Zeppelin Ledbetter. Like we said, Roxon Brooks, great effort there in fourth. Down to the wire. Looks like he missed out on that third spot by 0.3 of a second. Tomasi, Hopkins, McKay, Atterbury, Ryan Jones, and Madden McCormick rounding out your top 10 in 170 limited. All right, now we're going to shift gears. Cars are going to get a little bit bigger. That is right. We're going up to 800 Open. 800 Open Class Racing going to be up next. Like I said, displacement a lot bigger, engines bigger, cars are bigger, and lap count is bigger. We're going to go 10 laps with this one. We are going to have that mandatory competition caution finally being in play now. And this 800 Open division, it has been very exciting all year. You see that number 66, that is Addie Atterbury. She has been just absolutely dominant so far in this division. You see that 96-91 there of Chloe Hearn. Chloe been very, very strong the second half of this year. She's coming into her own as a racer. Really good to see Chloe Hearn getting the speed. But one of the big storylines of the weekend is Zeppelin Ledbetter moving into this division. And now we're seeing Zeppelin Ledbetter going to be on the pole. So Zeppelin Ledbetter coming in, and Addie Atterbury been very, very dominant, and it's interesting to see this young kid come in and say, "Hey, I want to play," and throwing down with a time that's going to put him on the pole. So I think Addie Atterbury is going to have her hands full for the first time this season, Tiffany.
Absolutely. And when we're looking at Addie Atterbury, numbers really don't lie at all. 87% winning percentage for her. She's pretty much taken everything except for round one, just had a little bobble in round one. But even though she had that bobble, she still had that fast lap. So showcasing what she can do as a driver, showcasing that she knows this track. Every time I chat with her, she's always saying it's her favorite one. It's fun. She likes how fast it is, and it showcases in her lap times.
I just got to say, Tiffany comes into the booth, an 87% win chance. I'm like, who has these numbers? You are like a mathematician over here. I'm like, color me impressed. I'm like, 87%. I'm like, wow, this is...
And I brought you snacks.
And you brought me Teddy Grahams. Like, I like this.
Thank you.
Snacks and stats. You're a keeper.
Snacks and stats. We were just on one today, Jim. Making up rules.
Making up rules. That dad race, I got to say, somebody's got to have six-pack for the winner or something at that one.
Right? It's been a fun job to be able to come here, watch the race so closely, but then all the questions that, announcers usually have, I actually can just go down there and ask the questions that I want to.
That's great. So, we got 800 Open coming up next. This one, I'm really, really excited about this one. Well, one, we've got the biggest car count we've had all year, which is going to be really exciting. We have 6 cars going to be taking the grid, but there's been so many storylines intertwined in this class, and it's only had a few entries in it, but it's been no short of storylines, and I feel like we've weaved this web of stories this year with Addie Atterbury, Chloe Hearn, and now we've got Zeppelin Ledbetter in the mix who's going to be on the pole, and I'm like, this one's going to be really exciting because I truthfully don't have any predictions of what's going to happen. You've got Addie Atterbury, who by all intents and purposes should run away and win this, but now you've got Zeppelin Ledbetter, who's inserted himself in here. Hey, I'm on the pole. And then you got Chloe Hearn sitting in third, who has got ridiculously fast as of late. So, as we started this out, we would have just thought, Addie Atterbury is going to walk away. And, she's most likely going to win this championship, but that doesn't mean she's going to win the next 2 races.
No, absolutely. And when we keep talking about people like the latecomers like Chloe Hearn, who notoriously is known for picking up the pace after that comp yellow, she's come into her own. She's smiling every time down there, but don't take that away from her. She may not win this championship, but she had to miss a round earlier in the season because she won another championship. So don't take it away that she doesn't know. She knows exactly what it takes to win championships. It's just that Addie Atterbury has been a little bit more consistent. She has been taking those top spots, but what's really cool about it is you have all of these great drivers who are moving on up, and they absolutely love being in this class. And I think it's a great class for somebody in that age range to move. And Addie said, this is the funnest class I've ever had. I enjoy this. And she smiles. So, she's telling the truth about that one.
Well, and I go back to the whole, and it is WrestleMania weekend. So I can say, I can bring in wrestling things. And I've done that before. But, the whole Ric Flair thing. And this one, it's like, to be the woman, you got to beat the woman. Or to be the man, you got to beat the man. But it's like right now, Addie Atterbury, she's the woman. She's the one. She's on top of the Mount Rushmore of this class, and everybody wants to dethrone her.
Well, there is a woman that is in, WrestleMania, and they call her the man, even though she's the woman, and this is exactly what it is. Addie Atterbury pretty much puts a clinic on every time she comes out here, and she's super comfortable with Firebird.
Yeah, absolutely. This one, it's going to be exciting as we get a look here at our R&R Steel Racing points. Like we said, Addie Atterbury up front with 352 points. Chloe Hearn in the second spot, 44 points back. Wrecker Earp, Zeppelin Ledbetter. Then we got BJ Hawthorne, Jamison Olsen, and Bryce Tomasi. I do have to say, Bryce Tomasi's car, I saw it there in staging. It's looking mighty shiny. Wonder if Mr. Bryce Tomasi in the 4th spot may have a little something for our fields. We get a look at our Liqui Moly starting grid. It is Zeppelin Ledbetter on the pole, Addie Atterbury in the 2nd spot, Chloe Hearn in the 3rd, Bryce Tomasi in the 4th, Jamison Olsen, and then Wrecker Earp rounding out our top 6. But this one, like I said, Zeppelin Ledbetter coming in and throwing down and being on the pole. That's it's something. Addie Atterbury, she's been very, very tough to beat this year.
But I also like looking at Wrecker Earp as well. Wrecker has had a few podiums, and we showcase podiums all the time, meaning that once you get there, You were like, okay, what I did in that race, I figured it out. I'm going to use that to the next one and figure out what I can add to that to continue to be on the podium.
Yeah, so this one's slated for 10 laps, mandatory competition caution in the midway point. The other thing I'd like to note, it's like we've made comments about it. Chloe Hearn, her racecraft is a little bit different. A lot of people you see shot out of a cannon early. Chloe sometimes kind of backs off the first half knowing there will be a competition caution, and then that second half you see her really mount that charge, really start to put the pedal down and start to clip away at people. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see her drop back a little at the start, save the car for the second half of the race. She's been notorious to do that, but I wonder today, knowing that you've got those two drivers in front of you, if we do see her charge earlier than she normally is accustomed to.
Do you remember who else used to do that? CJ Greaves. CJ would always do that. If he wasn't on the pole, if he was sitting 2, 3, 4, he would hold off knowing that it was there, figure out where he was going to make the pass, figure out what he was going to do. And CJ's one of the best short course drivers that we've seen, especially in the Midwest.
He's one of the best short course drivers of all time.
Of all time.
His dad and him, I mean, I can put CJ in that all-time argument.
I would put that. He's won a few Impact Awards for the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame. His dad is inducted as well, so that Greaves lineage runs pretty deep.
Yeah, I mean, we've got cars out here that are Greaves built that we're going to see racing later on today. But we got the green flag flying, and look at that, Zeppelin Ledbetter. Uh-oh. Look at that, Addie Atterbury up front. Zeppelin Ledbetter, a little slow on the draw, but look at that. We got Bryce Tomasi into the third spot. Chloe Hearn dropping back a little, like we said, might happen. But look at that. I mean, Tomasi trying to make moves there on Zeppelin really early.
I think that they saw in that last race that you kind of have to. You're going to have to make yourself a little bit wider. You're going to have to use the entire track because all of these drivers know what lines to take, and they've been watching these lines for the past few races.
Yeah, it looked like Zeppelin Ledbetter had a little bobble there in turn number 2. Almost got turned around, so he dropped back into the third spot. So Addie Atterbury, it is Bryce Tomasi, and then we've got Zeppelin Ledbetter in the third spot. Chloe Hearn into the fourth spot now.
But don't put it past Chloe. Like we keep talking about, yes, she may be pulling back at the first half of the race and comes together at the second half, but she's finished every single race, podium, all 8 rounds. She's always finished in the top 3, so maybe what she's doing is working for her, and we're going to see how that plays out.
Well, at this point, I'm definitely not going to knock Chloe Hearn's racecraft because, like you said, she's come through. She always does, and it's like you see this second half racer. But I got to tell you right now, she's looking at Zeppelin Ledbetter, and she might have a little something for him. Look at that. Oh, Zeppelin Ledbetter getting squirrely up and over, flips. Wow, it looked like he got loose in that corner, and it just exits stage right into that big, almost quarter pipe of dirt, and it put it over on its side. Tough break there for Rooster. We got a replay now. Look at this, Tiffany. Look, he got sideways, overcorrected, and then just boom, up and over into the catch fence, does a little wall ride, slow roll. I don't think there's going to be any damage to the car.
No, I'm wondering if parallel right to those tires that you see, if you go straight out to the right, if there was a small little rut that he was trying to over-rotate on.
Yeah, you look at the car up and over, back going, but tough break there for Rooster. But, yeah, just it looked like a mental mistake for the young driver.
Mental mistake, but he's going to definitely, I don't want to say maybe, he will be able to come back from it. Obviously, he saw where the lines you needed to take in that last race. He's probably going to implement a lot of that information, bring it back over. Don't put it past Rooster. I want to know why they call him Rooster. I almost just said he called him Rooster because he's so fast, but I don't know if that's even true at all.
I think, didn't he have the mohawk earlier?
Maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to ask him again. If you guys know why they call him Rooster, I'm assuming his parents do, but let us know.
He's also got to be able to do the cock-a-doodle-doo. I mean, if that's your name, you got to be able to do that.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, we got our Jones Ford Pace truck out here, bringing him around. Do have, obviously Jones Ford is one of our amazing partners, but we do have a lot of amazing partners here in the Championship Off-Road Racing Series. R&R Steel, one of our sponsors for trophies, putting up a purse in Pro NA and Pro side-by-side of $5,000. Sponsoring our water truck, we got Liqui Moly, Rugged Radios, K&N Filters, Maxxis Tires, putting together that fast lap for our pro classes, Doubly Racing, Weller Racing, big sponsor of our SR1 class, traders with all our merchandise, 019, Racer Plus, and Racer Network. Looney Cooling, man, it is warming up here in the valley, and they can definitely keep you cool. Starstream Pro, AZ Patch and Seal, Jones Ford once again, America Energy Corp, and Cactus Splash Pools. And speaking of, Tiffany Stone was able to catch up with them earlier this weekend.
Thanks, guys. You are absolutely correct. If you are here at Firebird Motorsports Park, make sure you come on down, grab some of the best swag and merch that you can find in short course. We've got tees, we've got tanks, we've got hats. You guys, I know it's going to be a little warm out here, so you're definitely going to want this tank top over here, but my favorite thing is going to be the fanny pack in the checkered print. I use this all year around. Makes it super easy, but yes, make sure you guys come down here, grab some great merch. They can do some custom things too. I've seen them make some hats and some patches. Just talk to them. They've got everything that you need, and it's going to be right here at the merch trailer. Back up to you guys. All right, Jim, it seems like I've been doing everything all weekend long, but the merch trailer is definitely a spot you guys got to check out.
Yeah, no joke. They've got some really cool stuff in there. We didn't even cover all of it in that feature, but they've got some stuff they can print on demand, I believe, in there. There's some fun stuff. And different shirts for each of the different rounds, which I think is awesome. Yeah, my favorite was the one for Valentine's Day. They had like the cracked heart and all that on it. Correct. Very emo of you. I'm a little dark. Very emo of us over here. I think it was like Love Hurts or something like that. They should have put I Miss You. All right, so Jones Ford Pace Truck bringing us around. Number 66, Addie Atterbury, going to bringing us to the green flag. Our points leader, the girl that's been almost completely dominant this year. But Tomasi has found something in this race, battled up to the second spot. Going to try and put some pressure. Oh, Chloe Hearn in the same spot that Rooster Ledbetter got turned around. Chloe Hearn does. What if there's something down low in that spot? Chloe, I mean, almost identical to what Rooster did. Well, and that's why I was mentioning right parallel from it. Is there that small little rut that they're catching, over-rotating, figuring it out, and then making that small mistake? Yeah, literally what brought out the caution with Rooster. Chloe, almost same spot, has a bobble. Oh, look at Rooster getting turned around again. Wonder if something happened. Oh, he's up into the tires. That is probably going to bring out another caution, I would assume. There got to be something going on with that car because that's not normal for Rooster Ledbetter. No, especially after seeing him take that third place. He's backing up. He's going to. Oh, that's not going to bring out a caution, thankfully. Oh, he's just going, yep, I'm coming in here. All right. It's not a shortcut at this point. That's definitely a long cut. Addie Atterbury, followed by Bryce Tomasi. We're going to have Wrecker Earp now in the podium conversation. Great run by Wrecker. You had said pre-race, I'll give you the credit. You said watch Wrecker Earp. Now Wrecker Earp finds himself in a podium spot. Well, he's that one. If they make those small little mistakes, he's the one that knows how to stay calm, collected. He does capitalize on that. He's got 2 podiums for the season, and he knows what it's going to take. And what we just keep talking about, you either got to make yourself wide or you got to pick that correct line. Yeah, so Wrecker up now in the 3rd spot. Chloe Hearn going to try and narrow that gap to Wrecker, trying to get into this podium spot. And there we got Tomasi having a great run, trying to put a little pressure on Addie Atterbury. Addie Atterbury doing what Addie does, just completely getting out front, letting the chaos happen behind her. And you're absolutely correct, Jim. And what's really kind of cool about Addie Atterbury is that she has that late race endurance. I know that we're only into lap 3, but with that full course yellow, obviously it's got to reset. You've got to come back together, get back in there. But she's recorded her fastest laps on the final laps in multiple rounds, like we saw in round 7 and round 8. There we've got Chloe Hearn now looking to the bottom of Wrecker Earp. She's probably still half a lap from being able to make a pass on Wrecker Earp. We're going to see how she can set this up. This is going to be nice. We're actually going to be able to see Chloe running a little bit faster than Wrecker Earp. So we're going to be able to see her kind of set that pass up a lap or so before it actually happens. Going to slowly reel him in. You see her now. She's going to late brake into this corner. Narrows the gap even more to Wrecker Earp. We're going to see the racecraft Chloe Hearn has now. We've seen her narrow the gap, cut it in half those last 2 straightaways. She's going to late break again into this one. Late break to the bottom, a little bit closer line. Look at that, narrows the gap again. Look at the racecraft in this young lady. We're watching this pass happen here in real time. Slowly narrowing it. She's going to get a run on Wrecker. He shuts the door.
Seemed like she checked up just a little bit, which was a smart move on her, but she does have that raw speed. When we look at it, she actually has the fastest speed out of anybody in this lap. She's looking at 55 miles per hour, 55.288 to be exact, and so it's really cool to see that, and like you said, she's doing it. Wonder why she checked up just a little bit right there.
That was a spot where she had the bobble, maybe a little nerve still from that almost spin she had, but
it was a smart move. Shows why she can win championships.
All right, so she's now trying to battle into a podium spot here with Wrecker up. It's Addie Atterbury out front. Tomasi, big gap between him and Atterbury, and also between him and this battle for third. Chloe Hearn down to the bottom, looking to get around Wrecker Earp. Up and over that step-up triple. Now Chloe down to the bottom. Wrecker going to cut over, take the line away. Great bit of racing there by Wrecker Earp, playing on defense. Chloe now looking to the inside. Nothing going to be there. Wrecker cuts down again. Chloe Hearn now going to go all the way to the bottom. She's going to try the outside inside. She's outside, drops inside. Nothing there. She's going to try and get a run coming down this front stretch on Wrecker Earp.
And when we're looking at this, obviously they're in two different vehicles. There's a single-seater, a two-seater. Is there a different drive style that you have to play when battling back and forth?
Well, I think Wrecker obviously got a little bit wider of a car, it looks like, so there's definitely that advantage. I think it's just a bigger car, so it's a little bit easier to block, Chloe's a little more streamlined. I think hers is a bit faster than Wrecker's, but he's definitely got the car to play defense. Little mistake there. Open the door. Look at that. Chloe, the slightest of mistakes there for Wrecker Earp, and Chloe just stepped in. I don't know if she's going to be able to seal the deal, though. Wrecker's still got the line choice. Chloe going to try and do it the hard way, to the outside. Trying to get a run off the corner. She's going to have line choice going into this. Going to protect on the bottom. She's there. Protects. Chloe Hearn seals the deal for third place.
And I absolutely love that move. And I'm wondering if she knew that she would be able to close that gap right there, take the inside. So she stayed on the outside for that first one right before it. It was smart on her point. Didn't have to move back and forth, and she could be able to close it.
And now Chloe Hearn there into the third spot. We've got the competition caution out. We're going to see what she can do in the second half of this race, but we were able to catch up with one of these drivers, Atterbury, earlier on this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Down here with Addie. Now, if you're talking about a stellar driver in the 800 class, we're talking about Addie. Now, Addie, you've won 7 rounds here, and it seems like for rounds 7 and 8, you were a last-minute endurance kind of driver because you got your fastest laps on those final laps in rounds 7 and 8. So we're back here for rounds 9 and 10. What do your predictions look like for the weekend?
Hopefully, I can secure the winning for both of these races.
Well, it seems like you're on the right track. You've got really great consistent lap times. You know exactly what to do. You're a seasoned driver when it comes to this class. Is there anything specific that you love about this class that keeps you coming back each round?
I just feel so comfortable in my 800. So, yeah, that's why I keep coming back because I love doing it. It's like my favorite.
I absolutely love that. Well, we're going to see how this rounds 9 and 10 really work out for Addie Atterbury. If she gets that top spot, she gets that whole shot, she's going to be unstoppable. We're going to see what happens. Back up to you guys.
I can't say thanks, Tiffany, when Tiffany's sitting next to me, but thanks for doing the feature, Tiff.
Thank you.
So Addie Atterbury currently leading. We have having a great run, Bryce Tomasi in the second spot, and then we've got Chloe Hearn in the third. Jones Ford Pace Truck out front. And you know what? Chloe Hearn gets that third place right before the end of the first half of this race. And now this is playing into the way she races. Now she's got the gap narrowed because she's in the third spot. She's saved her car. We're going to see what she's got the second half of this race. Looking for green. Addie Atterbury taking us to green. And look at that. We've got a lot of pressure Tomasi's putting on Addie Atterbury. Chloe Hearn kind of laying back there in the third spot, watching how this plays out. Look at that record. Oh, Chloe Hearn pulls off possibly a blown belt just for somebody to pull off that quick and know something happened. Tough break for Chloe Hearn. So Wrecker Earp now into the third spot. Looks like Chloe Hearn has lost power. So I think that is definitely going to be a belt possibly.
Well, when we're looking at Tomasi as well, this is going to be his first race for the season in this class. So if he can be able to walk away with a podium, that's going to kind of set the pace. It makes me kind of wonder what would have happened if Tomasi came in round 5. How much pressure would be actually put on Atterbury?
Yeah, Atterbury able to hold the pressure really well. Looks like Chloe Hearn wasn't a belt, got going again. Wonder what happened there. Car must have just shut off. She went to a stop and back in the race. So we'll see if she can battle back through. Going to be tough to catch this lead pack, though. Zeppelin Ledbetter now starting to put some pressure there on Wrecker Earp. So Zeppelin now back in the mix, looking for a podium spot. Got Tomasi, Wrecker Earp, Zeppelin Ledbetter, all in a battle for that second, third spot. All right, up the backstretch. Over the big flyaway jump. Atterbury now, not really been able to get the run we normally see. I think the rest of his class is kind of caught up to her. Tomasi there, trying to hunt down Addie Atterbury. Zeppelin Ledbetter still trying to get that third spot away from Wrecker Earp.
And what's really nice about Wrecker Earp, he does have that closing ability. So when we looked at him in round 7, he was just finishing a little under a second behind the leader. So if he can keep this up, maybe capitalize on maybe a mistake that Tomasi might make within these last few laps, he might even be able to pull himself into second.
All right, so Wrecker Earp now getting a little bit, way wide there for Wrecker Earp, leaving the door open. Zeppelin Ledbetter reeling him in, going to have the run. Looks like Zeppelin Ledbetter going to get around Wrecker Earp after that mistake. Great bit of racecraft for Zeppelin Ledbetter. Wrecker Earp having a great run and seeds that final podium spot. Now Zeppelin Ledbetter going to try and make a run on Tomasi. Up and over that triple. Into the corner. Looks like Wrecker Earp starting to slope a little bit. Wow, big brake check there for Zeppelin Ledbetter as well. Addie Atterbury, like I said, doing what Addie Atterbury does. She likes to lead, and look at that, little three-wheel motion. Looked like she lifted the left rear around that corner. You don't see that very often. White flag out for Addie Atterbury. I think it's going to take a mistake for Tomasi to be able to catch Addie Atterbury, and she does not make mistakes very often. Way to the outside, different line choice for Tomasi up that backstretch. Atterbury down low, kind of protecting. Zeppelin Ledbetter in the third spot, Tomasi in second, Wrecker Earp in fourth. Tomasi trying to make something happen, just doesn't have much there. So Addie Atterbury, couple corners remaining. Gonna try and take home this win, which will pretty much all but seal her championship if she can. Nothing there again. So Addie Atterbury going to come down and take the Maxxis Tires checkered flags. This is going to be Addie Atterbury once again victorious. Bryce Tomasi in second and Zeppelin Rooster Ledbetter third. And it is going to be Wrecker Earp in fourth with a great run this weekend or today. But Wrecker Earp going to be just outside the podium. I believe it will be Chloe Hearn going to wrap up in the fifth spot, and it'll be Jamison Olsen in the sixth as we look there at our victor, Addie Atterbury, and we're going to catch up with her and all the podium finishers when we return out here to Chandler in round number 9 of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series.
The Championship Off-Road Racing Series is brought to you by Liqua Moly. More performance, more driving pleasure.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good.
Meet up at the front down group up.
That's turn 4.
Oh, that jump was huge. Yeah, for sure, dog.
Good little driver, straight on through.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
With Starstream Pro, technology has really given us the opportunity to showcase off-road racing. Now we can go live from any car, anytime on the planet.
The sport needs something like Starstream, and it's here.
To be able to be one of the first people to have it in their trucks is going to be pretty cool, and hopefully this is a great thing for the sport.
This small computer and a GoPro, a couple cables and a Starlink, you can watch all the in-car cameras live.
With Starstream combining to a Starlink network, it's so easy to plug this in. On our short course truck, we actually have it all self-contained. 2 battery packs, one powers the Starlink, one powers the Starstream. Super easy to take off and put on our desert car later when we leave the track.
It's never been done before at this level. The fact that we're going to be able to be on live TV and they can check in to multiple different drivers within seconds of each other, I think it's just going to be a great thing for the sport.
Welcome back to a sunny afternoon, I guess morning here in Chandler, Arizona. I am Jim Beaver. We're here for round number 9 of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series at Firebird Raceway. Get a look there at the interstate, cutting through right by the racetrack. Got the casino in the background. And it brings us to our Rugged Radio's 800 Open results. Addie Atterbury once again victorious. Sure, we will get the winning percentage from Tiffany. She's 8 for 9 on the season here later on. But Addie Atterbury all but sealing up her championship with that victory. 1 round yet remaining. Bryce Tomasi in the 2nd spot. Zeppelin Ledbetter in the 3rd spot. Wrecker Earp up into 4th. Great run for Wrecker today, just outside the podium. Chloe Hearn having an issue, dropping back. And then Jamison Olsen in the 6th spot. So tough break there for Chloe Hearn. Thought we'd see her possibly on the podium, but the one we did see on the podium was Addie Atterbury. And here is Tiffany Stone standing by with all of our podium finishers.
Thank you so much, Jim. Down here with Zeppelin Ledbetter. Rooster, nice job on there. You were able to capitalize on a mistake, obviously showcasing why you drive all the way to the very end with the checker, because you never know what's going to happen. How was the race for you?
It was good. I flipped on like the 3rd lap, and like in turn 1, I didn't let go of the gas, and then it was too slippery, and then I just ran into the wall and then flipped.
Well, that's awesome. I wasn't going to bring that up for you, but I'm glad that you did, because we weren't sure what was going on down there. We weren't sure if there was a rut or something, but you were able, like I said, to drive all the way to the very end. That's why you get back up, you go back out there, and you continue to pushing on. Nice job. Who would you like to thank for this 3rd place finish in round 9?
I'd like to thank my family, Andy, Atlas Shippleport, Rev 6 Sports, Mother the Moore, A Better Plumber. And I'd like to thank all my boys at Ignite for keeping me strong between races. And I'd like to thank all my other sponsors who helped me get here.
Wonderful. Like we said before, them keeping you strong between races helped you out in this one. Nice job. Congratulations on 3. All right, Bryce, we're going to come straight over to you. This is your first time in the class, and it was really cool to see some of the pressure that you put on Addie. It was a nice drive style out there. She was able to hold off her own, but this is your first time out here, and taking a 2nd place is really, really showcasing what you can do as a driver. How was your day?
It was really, really good.
Wonderful. Who would you like to thank for helping you get a second place in your first time in this class?
Jimmy, Tyler, Warrior Machinery, Louis Gong, my mom, my dad, Garrett Gentry, and that's it.
Well, nice job. I love you and Rooster did Knuckles over there showcasing some good sportsmanship as well as a nice drive. Congratulations. Very good job in round 9 for you. And taking that top spot once again, Addie Atterbury, nice job over here. Pretty much closing up the championship for you in this class. When we talked, you said it was one of the best classes. You have a lot of fun in there. You were able to come out, showcase why you're so fast, especially in the later laps and the later rounds, which you've done. Just keep getting faster and faster, putting on clinics. How was your day for you?
It was pretty good. It was a bit muddy, so I tried to use that as my advantage and kind of slide with it, but it was good.
Well, we saw all three of you trying to make your vehicles, everybody actually out on the class, making their vehicles a little wider, closing up some gaps out there, which you've done. So who would you like to thank for pretty much helping you close out this championship and obviously for round 9?
I'd like to thank my dad for spotting me, my family and friends, 2X Motorsports, Atterbury Motorsports, Off-Road Vixens, Roma Venture Company, Mazzanti Motorsports, and whoever else I forgot.
Well, you've done it here once again. Nice job. A big congratulations once again to your top 3 finishers in 800 Open. Back up to you, Jim.
Thanks, Tiffany. Yeah, great run there for Addie Atterbury. As Zeppelin, gotta love that. I flipped it. Great times, great class. That one I've enjoyed watching all season long. And, what makes these young drivers so good is their communications with their spotters. And you want to talk about communications? There's one company that delivers on communications, and that is our partners at Rugged Radios. Earlier on this weekend, I was able to catch up with Rugged Radios. We're here with Rugged Radios, one of our big partners in the 2025 and 2026 Championship Off-Road Racing Series. Now, Rugged has been here trackside at every single round, keeping our racers serviced. They have a wide array of products, everything from headsets to intercoms to Nitro Bees. We got Reed Nordine here with Rugged Radios, going to be able to tell us about what Rugged is doing out here at the track.
We're here happy to support the racers, whether they need tear-offs, radio programming, pieces for the radios, push-to-talks, whatever. Racing takes its toll on equipment, and we're here happy to support the racers that need us.
Well, you heard it here. Rugged Radios keeping our racers dialed in with communications and safety. Yeah, Rugged Radio's a great partner here in the series. Done a lot, especially with the Nitro B, allowing spotter communication as well as communication from the track in the series for safety. Doing a lot behind the scenes to keep all of our drivers dialed in, not just for communications, but like I said, for safety as well. And they've got quite a bit of stuff to service, whether you're looking for tear-offs and helmet shields. They've got you dialed in. Brings us to our next race, one of the biggest races of the day, the youth production class. This is our R&R Steel Racing points. Kyle Niner, the triple niner. Kyle 9999er is 335 points. Tatum Forrester coming on strong the last few rounds, 15 points back. This one still very much up for grabs. Harper McKinney running very strong as well, 59 points back. Then we got Vincent Weber, Rylan Gahn, Wyatt Schmucker, Evan Atkins, Liam Cadwell, Desi De La Cruz, and Brenna Gorky. So this one definitely up for grabs. Lots of storylines going into this one. And looking forward to seeing how it plays out with our Liquid Molly starting grid. It is Alex Renulio on the pole, Declan Shields outside row number 1. Kyle Niner and Tatum Forrester 1 and 2 in points, and they're sitting 3 and 4 on the grid. Watch this space. That is where the battle's going to be happening today. Then we've got Liam Cadwell and Wyatt Schmucker in row number 3, and row number 4. It was, I believe, Rylan Gahn and Brayton Penrod. Row number 5, Harper McKinney sitting 3rd in points. We're going to see Harper battle through the field, trying to get into that points chase, points battle as well. Vincent Weaver, Desi De La Cruz, Cooper Hoganus, Banks Bodden, Brenna Gorky, and Luke Dawson rounding out row number 8 and 15-car field. Lots of cars out here in youth production. This one's slated for 10 laps. Got our Jones Ford pace truck bringing him around over that step up. Renullo going to be on the pole. Declan Shields going to be outside of row number 1. But really, the battle is going to be in that second row. We've got 1 and 2 in points. Tatum Forrester and Kyle Niner going to be starting in the 3rd and 4th spot. So really, I think as we're joined by Tiffany Stone, that is the story of the day right there. 1 and 2 starting 3 and 4. It's going to be some fireworks here.
Well, and it's really cool to see as well because Kyle Niner was untouchable for the first 4 rounds, having a win percentage of rate of 100%, took all of them. But then Tatum Forrester came in, flipped the narrative a little bit in the midseason, winning 3 straight before Niner was able to reclaim that in round 8 when we were back here. So it's anybody's race.
All right, green flag is out. We are racing here. This is youth production. 10 laps. We will have a mandatory competition caution. They are just slinging it there through turn number 1. That is Declan Shields up front. Kyle Niner in there. 1 car off into the dust. I can't see who that is. I know we saw Tatum Forrester in the mix as well. So Declan Shields getting pressure there from Kyle Niner. Tatum Forrester in the 3rd spot. Forrester trying to get around Kyle Niner. This is going to be a rowdy one. Oh, we got a little puff of smoke coming out of one of the cars already. Can't get a number on that one, but we got some white smoke out the back. Declan Shields holding off Niner. Niner now got his hands full with Tatum Forrester. Tatum knows has to get around Kyle Niner if he's going to have a chance at this championship. Declan Shields looking like the veteran out front. Kyle Niner not able to chase down Declan Shields.
Declan's not a stranger to the podium, though. He's had 2 of them. He had a P3 in round 7 and a P2 in round 8. So he has that momentum. Like we keep talking about the other classes, Jim, once you get that momentum, that consistency, that confidence, it kind of showcases to the next rounds, especially since we're back here at Firebird. Same exact track. They know what to do, and I think he's just implementing things he took from there and stepping it up one more little step to showcase that he should be out front.
Yeah, Declan Shields, great run, big gap. Already starting back to the 999 of Kyle Niner. Niner, though, really paying attention to that rearview mirror. You got Tatum Forrester in the 3rd spot. Tatum knows, there is a lot of pressure on Tatum Forrester here to get around Kyle Niner. If there's any shot at a points championship, it has to happen. Gonna look here, the rest of the field. Looks like that is the number 62 there of Rylan Gaughan. Missed a round. They were down in Baja. So great to see Rylan Gaughan and Brenna Gorky back. Tatum Forrester, this is in the 3rd spot, trying to hunt down points leader. Kyle Niner in the 2nd spot. Declan Shields out front. Niner and Forrester running almost identical lap times. Declan Shields about a half a second faster last time by. So Shields, Niner, Forrester, 1, 2, 3. Cadwell in the 4th spot. Now Harper McKinney up into the 5th spot. Harper 3rd in points trying to get into this as well. Harper knows they're going to make a run on things. Harper needs to get in the mix as well.
And this goes back, Jim. Do we save the car a little bit like we were talking about for that full comp yellow? Do we hold off, especially with Forrester and Niner putting out the same times? Obviously, they still got to get around Shields, but between Forrester and Niner, we haven't had another winner in this class. So if Shields does that, it can shake a few things up.
That definitely shakes a few things up, but I think holding back, if you're Tatum Forrester, you can't. You have to get around Niner. If there's an opportunity, you have to take it. If you're going to have any shot at a points championship, it has to be right now. You got to get around Niner. And look at that. Forrester looking to the bottom, looking to the inside. Looks like it's got a little bit of run coming off the corner. Niner not able to stretch the gap. They're up over the big table. We're going to see going out in turn number 1 if Forrester's got anything for Niner. Look at that tandem, almost Formula Drift style. Tandem drift through turn number 1. Forrester got the low line. Looks like Niner going to be able to slam the door. Nothing going to be there for Forrester yet.
Well, and this is also showcasing why these two drivers are as prolific as they are in this class, because when we looked at the last round, round 8, I mean, Niner just beat Forrester by 0.178 seconds, which is the smallest margin in this class. So this is why these two drivers are going back to back. But like you said, he's going to have to take that. Forrester's going to have to make that move before the comp yellow. Unless Niner makes that mistake, which is very unlikely, he has in the past, but Tatum does know how to capitalize.
Look at that, all the way to the bottom. Forrester trying to get around Niner. I mean, Forrester just hunting down Kyle Niner right now. Niner getting all kinds of pressure. Forrester a half a second faster than Niner last time by. It's only a matter of time. So competition caution should be flying. Next time by, right now, Declan Shields out front. Look at that. Oh, late break for Forrester. Almost looked like he was attempting a slide job. Nothing there, though. You got to give Niner a lot of credit. Running really strong today. Not making any mistakes. But Declan Shields, look at the speed out of Declan Shields. Just absolutely on rails out front.
I actually like seeing this, like we keep talking about, having another contender, especially like we just seen in that last class, but having another contender, it really shakes some stuff up, because not only does Niner have to make sure he shuts down Forrester, but he also has to figure out when he can capitalize, make that move on Shields. So it seems like right now for Niner especially, this is the time you got to stop, sit back, think of how you're going to tackle the second half.
Well, speaking of Kyle Niner, the triple Niner, who is our current points leader, we were able to catch up with him earlier this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Down here with Kyle Niner. Now, Kyle, you and Tatum Forrester have been battling back and forth all season long. You've won 5 out of the 8 rounds. Majority of them have been here at Firebird. You were able to capitalize once again in round 8, but that margin over Tatum was crazy. It was like 0.127 seconds or something along those lines. So going into rounds 9 and 10, how do you think you're going to battle not only yourself, but Tatum Forrester?
Just got to stay consistent, quite frankly. If we can bring home P2 consistently throughout the weekend, we'll get the championship, and I'll be super happy with that. But if we can get the win, we'll try and go for the win, but it's going to be close no matter what happens.
And with round 9 specifically, we're back here. You're coming off of that consistency of winning for round 8. That gives you a little bit more confidence going into the last few rounds. It's a little cooler, but it is warm again. How are you going to capitalize on the weather, the track? Obviously, it's probably going to dry out a little bit more than what we've seen in past rounds.
Yeah, we changed up the tune a little bit in the car, added a little bit more fuel to accommodate for the heat. But other than that, just focus on keeping myself cool during the race, and nothing much changes. It's Arizona. It's hot always.
I love that. It is Arizona. It's hot always. And yes, it is. So we're going to see what happens to Kyle Niner for rounds 9 and 10 and see how everything shapes up for him.
Yeah, Kyle Niner, great season so far, but if he's going to bring it home on this championship weekend, he's got a lot of work cut out for him. Declan Shields currently leading, Kyle Niner in the second spot. Tatum Forrester, the person that he needs to be paying most attention to in the third spot. That there is the battle. If Tatum Forrester can get around Kyle Niner, there might be a shot for Tatum to take home a championship. Declan Shields going to get the whole shot here. Be watching that. Look at all 3 of them on each other's bumper. Tatum Forrester looking to the bottom of Niner. Nothing there. I think you're going to see Forrester try and make a move early. Going to just try and send it in and see if something sticks. Almost has to at this point. Harper McKinney also in the third spot in points, up into the 4th spot here on track. So McKinney now trying to be a factor in this as well. McKinney with an outside shot at the points title as well. So you're going to see Harper McKinney start to make a charge.
And what I like about Harper McKinney is we talk about consistency. 4 podiums out of 8. You know, the fastest lap we're looking at round 6. We did go to Glen Helen, but showcasing that you can get fast laps out there, bring it over, and it translates to Firebird.
Yeah, McKinney, we really haven't talked much about in this points battle, but having a great season. like you said, on the podium a lot. Niner and Forrester just been the ones that have been victorious, but Harper and McKinney been uber consistent. But right now, Declan Shields going to get a little pressure from Kyle Niner.
And this is kind of what we were talking about before the comp yellow. Kyle Niner's got to make that move on him, just like Tatum Forrester's got to make the move on Niner. And he's doing double duty. Kyle Niner, not only is he trying to play defense with Tatum Forrester, but he's also got to play a little offense, put some pressure on Declan Shields, and see if Declan can make that mistake, because then that's going to be the way he's going to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and to Declan Shields' credit, been relatively mistake-free so far, been leading this thing wire to wire from the pole. Niner and Forrester have been battling for that second spot. Niner doing a phenomenal job of holding back Forrester. Forrester now looking like the pace has dropped off a little bit from what we saw in the first half of the race, but still right in the mix there. So 1, 2, 3, it is Shields, Niner, Forrester. Then you got McKinney, who is currently sitting in the third spot in points, fourth on the track, and then Schmucker in the fifth spot.
One thing that I'm kind of noticing about Shields and Niner, some of them are taking the same exact line based on where they're out on the track, but then Tatum Forrester is taking a little bit more inside around the corners. He's trying to drop in, see if that's going to be open for him, because I feel like if he can get that open right there at a turn, he may be able to take Niner down. But like you said, he's pulling back just a little bit, so wondering if there's some things going on with the car.
Yeah, that's the thing with Tatum Forrester. You're right. He's taking a definitely different line. I like to call that in Formula Drift standards the inside clip, or if you're a rally person, we call that a cut, where you're kind of putting that front wheel up on the berm there. But Tatum Forrester definitely trying all the stops to get around Kyle Niner. Just hadn't been anything there. Niner just running a great race, protecting, but he just can't cut the lead down to Declan Shields, who is leading with a white flag out. It is Shields, Niner, Forrester, 1, 2, 3. Look at that, all the way to the bottom. Mistake for Shields, pushed outside. Niner couldn't capitalize.
And these are the small little mistakes that we were talking about that you have to make. Now he has that bobble. Now it looks like Shields a little bit in his head, knowing that he only's got a few more turns before the checker.
Yeah, so Shields down through this big hairpin. Niner to the bottom, looking inside, nothing there. Niner now going to get a run up over this triple. Niner at some point got to look in the rearview mirror and find out what Forrester's got up his sleeve. Forrester down to the bottom, looked on that inside berm, the inside clip, nothing there in that apex. Now Forrester all the way that low line again, only a couple corners remaining. Look at that, Forrester now to the bottom. Niner going to slam the door. Declan Shields going to walk away. Niner going to extend the points lead. Forrester going to finish up in third. Wow, what a race. That's what you love to see with these drivers. Clean racing out of all three of them. We've seen it all season long. I mean, some of the best racing coming out of this division, and just nice and clean. What a race for Declan Shields. Taking the top spot in qualifying, walking away with a victory, and it wasn't easy. Lots of pressure, but the young driver just absolutely putting on a clinic today in the number 258. So we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will have our podium finishers on the podium here in Chandler at round number 9 of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series.
The Championship Off-Road Racing Series is brought to you by Double E Racing, engineered for performance.
We've chased checkered flags through dust, rocks, mud, and worse. We've crowned champions, racked up wins in places where tires go to die. And we're still just getting started. From hammering at hammers to Baja bangers. If it's brutal, beautiful, or just plain ridiculous, we're there. So whether you're bombing through the desert or just dodging potholes in rush hour, tread victoriously with Maxxis tires. Built for whatever you're chasing.
Built to get more out of every mile. For what you pull, what you haul, and what you refuse to leave behind. When the load gets heavy, you don't back off. You push forward. Trusted for generations, because performance matters. More air, more power, more response. Engineered for the demands of diesel drivers, ready for wherever the road ends. K&N Performance Diesel.
Welcome back here to Chandler at Firebird Motorsports Park, round number 9 of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series. I'm your host, Jim Beaver, just getting done with youth production. And what a race that was. Our top 3 just absolutely throwing down. I mean, bumper to bumper, side to side. Some of the cleanest racing you'll see. And what an amazing effort by all 3 of our top drivers. And that brings us to our Rugged Radio's youth production results. Declan Shields walking away with the victory, qualifying on the pole, and walking away with top honors out here. Kyle Niner, lots of pressure from Tatum Forrester from wire to wire, walking away with the second spot, slightly extending his points lead over Tatum Forrester going into the finale tomorrow. Forrester in the 3rd spot, Wyatt Schmucker in the 4th spot. Harper McKinney 3rd in points, finishing up 5th place here today. Brayton Penrod 6th, Liam Cadwell, Rylan Gahn, Cooper Hoganus, and Desi De La Cruz rounding out your top 10. Looking at 11 through 14, it was Brenna Gorky, Luke Dawson, Vincent Weber, and Banks Bodden rounding out your 14 cars on track. And with that, talking about our podium finishers, Tiffany Stone is standing by.
Thank you so much, Jim. Down here with Tatum Forrester. Now, Tatum, a nice run out there. Obviously, we're here around 9, just trying to clock away some points for you, making sure the season can finish out correctly. We got one more round tomorrow, but let's talk about today right now. Obviously, those 2 right in front of you were kind of blocking. They seem to take the same line. You were trying to be a little bit bigger, take different lines. It did get you up here on 3rd. What was going on? Anything going on with the car, or were you just trying to figure out a different way around them?
They're good drivers. I was just trying to figure out a different way around them. I was doing my best. I didn't drive as good as I would like to have, but I'll come back better tomorrow. And these guys are fast, and they gave me a good run, and tomorrow we'll come back, and it'll be a good battle.
Well, you guys did a nice, clean run out of there. We didn't really see anything up in the booth. It was really great sportsmanship. Love it. This is such a great class. Lots of things going on. So who would you like to thank for round 9?
I want to thank my mom and my dad and everybody that helps us out, the Schroeders, everybody that comes out here and helps us out and gets us where we're at. Economy Plumbing, 2X Motorsports, 518 Designs, Lone Star Performance, Rugged Radios, UPR, and I think that's good. Valor Race Wheels.
Wonderful. Nice job. We'll hop you up on number 3. Congratulations, Tatum. And adding some more points for the season in the championship, we got Kyle Niner. Now, Kyle, it looked like you were trying to not only attack against Declan, but you also had to play a little defense with Tatum as well. So walk me through the mindset of being able to battle back and forth, knowing that you need to make a move on Declan, but you also got to block against Tatum.
Quite frankly, I was just kind of rolling with the punches and being where I wanted to be, you know. The goal was to be in front of Tatum, made that happen, and Declan, we were just going back and forth. He's not really in points, so it wasn't a big threat to me. So we were just having fun, having a good, clean race, and we didn't make any mistakes. We just held it clean the entire time, making good blocks, good everything, and it was just solid all around.
Well, you've done it here, and it's really cool to see what's been going on with the battle between you and Tatum the whole time. You know, the smallest margins of winning, you guys did it, you know, round 7 under 7 seconds, or I'm sorry, under 1 second. So it's cool to see how close these times are throughout the season. Who would you like to thank for round 9?
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, Sneaky Tune, Hurley Motorsports, JG Racing, Sandcraft, Kinetic, my Oliver Golding with Golding Motorsports, Bobby for spotting me today, Henry for coming out and supporting, and my girlfriend's family for coming out and supporting me as well.
Wonderful. Nice job. We'll hop up on number 2 for me. And taking that top spot, Declan Shields over here. It's really cool to see you shake things up because for this entire season, we've only really seen Tatum Forrester and Kyle Niner up on that top spot. You were picking the correct lines. You were holding them off. You drove just like a vet would, just like you should. You've done it here for round 9. Talk to me about your day.
I knew I would have to protect my line of Kyle, but I also knew he wasn't going to try anything too risky and risk his points. So I took advantage of that, and I started to take some faster lines toward the first half of the race, and I got away a little bit. Second half, I just knew I had to stay inside and let no one pass.
Well, Well, you've done it here. Nice job. You're holding that number 1 plaque. So who would you like to thank for round 9?
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my sister, Dylan and his family, Sparko, GSP, and CORR, God, Jesus, and everyone else who comes out to help me.
Wonderful. Well, this is a class to watch. Nice job. Big round of applause for your top 3 finishers, and back up to you, Jim.
Thanks a lot, Tiffany. Man, that one, that class, these drivers, it's been amazing to watch all season. Like I said, you love watching hard racing where they're running each other clean, and both youth production and now we're going to shift gears into youth restricted, run each other the same way. It's been really, really exciting to watch. But one of the other things kind of exciting to watch, one of my favorite things showing up to the racetrack each round here of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series is to see what the special design t-shirt that Traders comes up with for each individual round. And earlier on this weekend, I was able to catch up with Traders. We're here at Firebird Motorsports Park with our partners at Traders, who are handling all the merchandise for this season of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series. Let me tell you what, they are at every single event, and they bring something unique each time out. I mean, here we got In My Race Mom era, definitely not for me, but those of you with a mom that's a race mom, definitely want to get them dialed in. We got some camo hats, some long sleeve shirts, some awesome checkered bags here. But as we come down the line, some of the stuff unique to this event, yep, it's heating up out here. We've got some tanks for men and women. Got a little bling. My absolute favorite, though, special for the championship weekend, we've got a graphic here that sums up the entire season in 2025 and 2026. Definitely, Traders has you dialed in out here at the Championship Off-Road Racing Series. Traders definitely got all the staff dialed in, got all the fans dialed in, got all the teams dialed in. They got you handled, and I love it because stuff's unique to each event. So if you're at home, I don't know, maybe we'll get an online store going. But if you're here at the track, you definitely want to make your way over there because once it's gone, it is gone, and never to come back. So you kind of like that. It feels special when you buy something. But Traders definitely awesome. Use them for a lot of my stuff, and they can get you big or small, locked in with your merch. Right now, we are shifting gears. Got one more race remaining in our morning session, and this one has been fireworks every single round. And I mean fireworks in a good way. It's fun to watch. Youth restricted. We got 15 cars slated to go. Look at that beautiful drone shot we've got of these 15 cars. But this one has been absolutely electric. Kids just throwing down every single round. Addie Atterbury there, Hoganus. I mean, it's just a stacked field. But I'm really looking forward to seeing the way this one plays out. This will be our last race for those of you tuning in at home. This will be our last race of the morning session. Then we're going to lay out for about 45 minutes, have an intermission, going to prep the track, get everything dialed in. And the reason why is because we're going to go pro class racing this afternoon. And we got some of the pros. We got a lot of championships up for grabs. Some of the best side-by-side racers in the United States, dare I say the planet, when it comes to short course. They are going to be here in action at Firebird, and so we're going to need 45 minutes to prep that track. So you definitely gives you time to go home or go to the kitchen, grab something to eat, take a breather like we're going to do, Tiffany, and then we get to watch some of these points championships play out this afternoon.
And I think it's going to be an absolute, I kind of want to say wonder, kind of like, we're going to look at it just because there's so many different things that are going to be happening throughout. We've got some seller guys out there and girls who know exactly what to do. They know what to take. And it's just kind of like, it's something that you need to be here. You need to watch that because I feel like being here, watching in the stands, you can hear the intensity, you can hear the vibration, you can feel the crowd, and that's something that you want to do. So if you haven't been to a race, you still got round 10, you still even can come later today. Come down here, feel the race, feel the intensity, and see what we get to talk about, which is amazing.
I think that's a good point. If you're in the Phoenix area today, I mean, we're taking a 45-minute break after this one. You still got time to come out and watch the pro classes. You can be anywhere in Phoenix in an hour. Get on out here. Come enjoy the time at Firebird, and when you get through the gate, come find Tiffany and I, because we'd love to know that we said something that got you through the gate. If not, plan tomorrow, bring the kids, because we're crowning champions tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow is going to be off the chain.
And what I love about that is just because you put in so much work, so many hours, so many days, and when round one's here, you're looking at it, blink of an eye, we're here for round 10, and like you said, crowning champions tomorrow.
All right, so we got our youth restricted. They are pulling into the arena because it is going to be an all-out slugfest. That brings us to our R&R Steel youth restricted points. Ryder Greco, 340 points up. But we got Crew Hart, 29 points back. Jackson Cotter, Ryder Forrester, Lath Earp, Triton Lawrence, Addie Atterbury, Timothy Jones, Nixon McCormick, and Cooper Hoganus. That is your top 10 in points. Be watching that battle, though, with Ryder Greco and Crew Hart. These boys have been going back and forth all season long, and here they start 1 and 2 on the grid. Which brings us to our Liqui Moly starting grid. Like I said, Ryder Greco, Crew Hart 1 and 2. Tiffany, take us through the rest.
We've got row 2, Nixon McCormick and Hayden Barler. Row 3, Ryder Forrester and Brayton Penrod. Row 4, Lath Earp and Hudson McCormick.
Yeah, then we got Addie Atterbury and Blaine Proctor in row number 5. Lariat Lawrence and Carter Hoganus in row number 6. Carly Warpius in row number 7. BJ Hawthorne, then Triton Lawrence rounding out your field in the 8th row.
Now, Jim, what I absolutely love about the youth restricted class is that we've only actually had 3 top winners. Greco's taken 5 of them, Hart's taken 2, and Forrester has taken 1. So it's really even playing field. Obviously, we see Greco, he's taken the first 4 for rounds 1 through 4. Hart took rounds 5 and 6. Forrester took 7, and then Ryder Greco took the 8th round as well. So that's adding 5. So it can play it into anything. Crew Hart's super fast out there, Ryder Forrester as well, but the track looks pristine. It's really coming in. We can start to see some slicker spots out there, though, which might change their drive style based on where it is. We've been seeing so many great drivers out there. What are your predictions for this one?
Well, I think right now it's going to be, the front row. We're going to see Ryder Greco and Crew Hart. I mean, they've battled every single round this year. And I think that's going to be the one to watch. 1 and 2 in points, starting 1 and 2 here. Ryder Greco seems like he's getting the edge on Crew Hart more often than not. So I think, Crew Hart, he's going to have his work cut out for him. But I think knowing the Hart family, they went and did their homework. Maybe they found something with the car. I don't know, but they're trying. They're working to make that thing faster. They're working on the setups, and I think that battle there, 1 and 2, Crew Hart and Ryder Greco, that's one to watch.
Well, and then when we're looking at the numbers, though, for rounds 1 through 4, we were here at Firebird. For 5 and 6, we're at Glen Helen. That's where Crew Hart took that. Glen Helen is a little bit more technical. It's a little bit more driver's track for you. We're over here back at Firebird. It's a little bit more flowy. It's a little bit more faster. But if Crew Hart can take a spot over here for rounds 9 and take that top spot, it'll prove that it wasn't a fluke and that it wasn't just Glen Helen.
Well, I agree, and I think if he can do that, it blows open this points battle going into tomorrow. So Crew Hart, pressure is on as the green flag drops. Look at that, Crew Hart getting the jump there on Greco. Greco going to have the track position, but Crew Hart had the jump. Look at that, side-by-side, Hart getting the edge over Greco, cutting over. Look at that, Crew Hart early on. Wow, Crew Hart doing just what we said. Look at that. The surprising move is we had a tangle there in turn number 1. Got drivers backing up. All right, no flag going to come out. Crew Hart and in the first spot, Ryder Greco. Look at that, Forrester now into the 3rd spot.
Well, and that was another person that we talked about. Between those top 3, they have taken that top spot. They know what it takes to win, and there's a little mix-up over here, but everybody's still walking away clean, figuring out what line to take. He's trying to take that inside, but Forrester was able to shut him down on that one.
Well, so we're going to go back up front here with Crew Hart. And then we've got there, that is the 695 Ryder Forrester. Saw Tatum in the previous race. This is Ryder Forrester in this one. But what a move to start things off for Crew Hart. He's going to be leading, Greco second. We have Forrester in the 3rd spot. Going to be Barler and then McCormick. Right now, look at that. Greco to the bottom, looking around, get around Hart. Nothing there. Crew Hart out front, we've seen. He knows how to play defense. We saw that at Glen Helen. And look at that. All the way to the bottom. Greco trying to make a run up the inside. There's nothing there. So Crew Hart doing a great job playing defense. Tell you what, these two have battled back and forth like this all season long. They know each other well. You're going to see them run each other extremely strong and extremely tight, but they definitely run each other clean. Very fun to watch these two dance around the track.
And what's really interesting about Hart and Greco is when they win, they literally only win by 1.5 seconds. It's not a blowout. It's not that. And showcasing in the similar lap times that we're seeing here, 105, 106, not that far of a difference, half a second in between both of them. But then you still got Forrester as well, still pushing in that 106 mark.
Yeah, and you love it when you've got two drivers out front and they've got that trust and they've got that respect in each other, and they're going to run each other clean, but it is going to be some hard racing right now. As Greco's dropped a little bit back, probably trying to regroup, trying to get a game plan here. Going to try and make a run there on Hart. Don't forget, this one's slated for 10. We're about 3 laps in. It will be a competition caution at some point during this race. All right, so we're going up and over that big triple. This is Ryder Forrester in the 3rd spot. That is Barler now in the 98, trying to make his way around Ryder Forrester. That is for the 3rd podium spot. Barler to the bottom. Forrester now feeling the pressure. Looking to the inside. Nothing there for Barler yet. Trying to make a run up on Ryder Forrester. Forrester now going to get a run up the outside, trying to lengthen the gap back to Barler in this battle for 3rd.
And looking at the lap times, Jim, is exactly what you were talking about earlier, that throughout the day, from what we saw earlier with the 170s, the lap times obviously are getting faster, bigger cars, bigger motors, but they are continuously getting faster. The track is getting faster. It's coming in. It's drying out just a little bit in certain spots, and it's still a little moist in some other spots, so it's really nice. But this showcases what you have to do as a driver and pick the correct ones, the correct lines, I mean.
Yeah, and it seems like, a lot of races, as the race goes on, the track gets slower. This is today's track. It's actually getting faster every lap. They put a little water on in between, and then it dries out and gets quicker. So been really interesting to watch as the caution flag does fly a little bit early. So this will take place of the mandatory competition caution, but because it came out on lap 4, there must be an incident out on course that we can't see on the screen yet, but definitely that brings out the caution. This will take place of the mandatory competition caution. Waiting to find out here what quite occurred out on track. We do have one up and over. That is the 210 of Triton Lawrence. So Triton Lawrence over in the 210. Doesn't look like much damage. That's one of those corners that does get rutted. So he's going to get up and going. We're going to get everybody regrouped. But speaking of our points leader, Ryder Greco, currently sitting 2nd in this race. We were able to catch up with him earlier this weekend.
All right, down here with Ryder Greco. Now, Ryder, you are super consistent when we're here at Firebird. Throughout the season, you've won 5 out of the 8 rounds. You've never placed lower than 3rd, but in the round 8, you were able to come back with that top spot again. Now, coming back to Firebird, did it seem like you were a little bit more confident in yourself, or it was just kind of like coming back home?
Probably more like coming back home. We race this track a lot, so it's not really that new compared to Glen Helen.
Well, when we talk about this class and how consistent everybody's been, you've got some great drivers out there for you. You've got Tatum Forrester coming up. You've been battling him back and forth all season long. Going into rounds 9 and 10, what do you think it's going to take to get that top spot against Tatum Forrester?
Keeping a consistent pace, running fast lap times, and just not getting in my own head.
Well, there you have it. For somebody who knows what consistency will take, he's our top driver right now. We're going to see how things shape up in the second half for him.
Yeah, well, Greco having a great season, both him and Hart, and we've got those sitting 1 and 2. I called it at the start. I said, you know what, that's going to be the battle. Crew Hart got around Greco on that first lap. Greco's into the 2nd spot, needed it for this points battle. Greco knows he needs to get back around Hart, so this might be his only chance on the drop of this green flag. Does Greco have anything for Hart? Well, I can tell you what, Hart did not get the jump on Greco. Greco all over the rear bumper of Hart as they go down through turn number 1. The field looks like it's going to be through clean. We're off and racing. Hart with about a car length on Greco going into turn number 2. All right, so Hart all the way to the bottom protecting. Greco to the bottom as well. Got a couple cars sliding up high. They're going to go up and over the ski jump. We're going to see if Greco can make a run on Hart and hit down into turn number 3. Oh, Hart up on the bike. That was what Greco needed with that. Oh, look at that. Greco not able to capitalize. Hart almost yard sailing. They able to bring it back. Tiffany, wow.
That's amazing, but this is what we keep talking about, how consistent these drivers are. It's showcasing that Crew can be able to stay a little bit calmer in that he's going to be able to bring it back together, didn't lose a position on that, and that's exactly what we're trying to showcase, to see if Hart can be able to come back and make sure and showcase it wasn't a fluke.
Yeah, caution flag flying yet again. Don't know the reason quite yet, but man, that was definitely an eventful first half of that. I mean, our leader almost threw it away, able to bring it back.
And, you know, Jim, I've never been in this position that these young guys and girls are in, but you've been in positions like this. How do you, as a driver, you just come out of a full comp yellow, full course yellow, coming back into another full course yellow, how do you recompose yourself, bring yourself back, because already taking yourself out of the race for a little bit, for a lap, and then automatically having to do it again?
Well, the biggest thing is the drivers, you get that adrenaline cranking, and then you get the adrenaline dump, and then you got to get it cranking again. And I know if you're Hart, you're sitting there and you're kind of slamming your fist against the dash going, you know what, I held him off, I was able to keep it, I got a gap, and now it's gone again, and he's got another shot at me. And, you know, a lot of times you're not too worried, but when you got somebody like Greco behind you and there's this heated points battle heading into the, you know, these rounds, I mean, Hart definitely right now has got to be a little frustrated.
Well, and then not only does he have Greco right behind him, he's also, you know, still got Forrester right behind him. Forrester has been able to get that top podium spot. When we look at Ryder Greco, he's made every single podium this round, 8 out of 8, where Crew Hart's only made 6 out of 8 podiums. So they're showcasing the consistency right there. That's also why he has that little gain on him for the championship and for the points lead. But don't put out Forrester, because Forrester's right behind him and knows what it takes to get on that top spot.
Well, and I'll tell you what, we don't know much about Barler in the number 98. But Barler's been running very strong today. So another one to watch, trying to, you know, find their way to the podium. Looked like that was Warapius that brought out the caution. Looked like got it tipped over in one of those corners. So they're going to get that back over and resume at the back of the field. Right now, though, this is the battle to watch. Greco going to have one more shot at Hart. We're only at the midway point here, but, you know, we will not have any more cautions if this thing continues to run clean. So Hart is held off Greco, going to have to do it one more time. All right, so that Jones Ford pace truck bringing us around. Going to be Hart, Greco, Forrester, Barler, a couple of McCormicks in 5th and 6th, Hawthorne, Proctor, Earp, Penrod, Lawrence, Hoganus, Warapius, and Atterbury. That is your 14 cars. Looks like our pace truck is... Don't quite know what's happening here. Pace truck pulling off to the side. Looks like we're going to get all these drivers stopped. Somebody must be out of order. They're checking the order there. It's going to be another lap under caution.
And I guess this goes back to the thing again. Once again, Jim, you think you're about to go there. The pace truck pulls off. You're ready to go. You're all bunched up. And then you've got to bring that adrenaline back down, reset, talk to your spotters, because your spotters, you know, we don't talk about that much on the broadcast, but they are your eyes to see everything that's kind of happening. So not only are you bringing yourself down, you're probably trying to talk to your spotter, figuring out what's going on with this another full lap.
Yeah, well, not only that, but a lot of these cars, like with the radiators and the cooling systems and stuff like that, they want to actually be running because you get that airflow. So when you're stopped and you're just idling speed, everything heats up in the car. So these drivers are watching temperatures and things like that, and, you know, it makes it really, really tough. But as we work our way through here, you're going to see a good portion of our drivers on the podium wearing bright orange caps, and that's because Maxxis Tires is one of our amazing partners here in the Championship Off-Road Racing Series, and I was able to catch up with them. All right, we are standing here with Maxxis Tires, one of our partners in the 2025 and 2026 Championship Off-Road Racing Series. Adam, I mean, Maxxis has been here trackside. I know you guys have been selling tires. I got to tell you, last round on the podium, I saw a lot of orange hats. Tell us about your involvement in the series and how things have been going.
You know what, that was absolutely a beautiful thing to see all those orange hats up there. Those are our special podium hats, and so any chance we get, we love to see them there. We're happy to support CORR. You know, a little sad that this is our championship weekend, but we can't wait to see the next season and see what happens.
Well, if you're a racer and you need tires, Maxxis has you dialed in, and if you're just a weekend warrior, they've got something for you as well. Jones Ford pace truck bringing him around. It's Hart and Greco. Look at that. Greco all over the bumper of Hart. Not going to let him get away. We're going to see Greco. What's he going to do? What's he going to have? Turn number 1. Whoa, look at little slippery there for Hart in the lead, but look at that. Forrester now inserting himself into this situation, going, hey, boys, I'm here to play. Greco up top, Hart on the bottom. Hart going to slam the door. Looked like he went up on the bike momentarily, but now Forrester putting the pressure on Greco. All right, look at bumping, banging. We got a few cars there. It looked like Barler getting bumped by McCormick.
And that's one of the guys that we were talking about that we didn't know much about. This is actually Barler's first race of the season, coming in for round 9.
Yeah, well, he's definitely making his presence known here, having a strong run there as Hart continuing to hold off Greco. And it's actually allowing Forrester with a chance to get around Greco. So, and look at that, Barler in the mix as well. We got a 4-car breakout in this pack. Barler coming in going, I'm going to play spoiler with everybody.
That's what rounds 9 and 10 are probably going to shape up to be, because you never know. At the end, you've worked so hard to be here, you might as well throw a little curveball in there and see what happens. Put some more pressure on the top 3.
Yeah, look at that. Looks like Hart getting a little bit of a gap over Greco. Forrester all over the back there, bumper of Greco. Now Greco making a run on Hart. And Barler's still in the mix there in the 4th spot as well. This one way early with only 4 laps remaining, but there's going to be a lot of action as that breakaway pack. We've also got McCormick there in the 5th spot, now trying to regain up into that lead breakaway pack.
And we're looking at Forrester, kind of what we saw with his brother Tatum in the previous race. He's trying to pick different lines. The first 2 are not necessarily following each other, but then you've got Forrester down here trying to choose different lines, put a little pressure on Greco, and then while Greco's doing that, putting the pressure on Hart.
That's what Greco knows. If Hart gets this win, it's going to narrow the gap in the points. So Greco really is points chasing here, wanting to get around Hart and make even a bigger gap. So this is not what Greco needs. But look at that. Oh, breaks out. Was in the draft. I hate to even say draft. It was in the draft. Broke out to the outside. Nothing there. Oh, the contact between Greco and Hart. They both go wide. Looks like Greco brushing the wall there. Drops back to 4th. Little contact from those 2. Look, look at it. Greco's going to go to the bottom and get around Hart. Love to see what happened there on a replay, because I really don't know how to assess that. Now Hart back around Greco. Greco getting pushed to the outside. Definitely not what Greco needs. Our points leader now seeing points slip away. Needs to get back up into this. Meanwhile, Forrester up in front. And we've got the newcomer Barler into the 2nd spot as we got a replay of what transposed. So we got Hart on the bottom. We've got Greco up top. Greco cuts down, bumps Hart, puts him up onto the bike, which shoots Greco into the K-rail almost. Both of them regain, and they drop back into 3rd and 4th spot. Just a very slight brush there, Tiffany.
Very slight, but this showcases why you have to drive all the way to the end, because Forrester was able to capitalize on that. With that win in round 7, he broke that Greco-Hart winning against each other, and he's about to do this again.
Wow, that was just hard racing. I mean, that was just hard racing between Greco and Hart. I mean, that happens when you're running each other that close. But Greco still knows he needs to get around Hart for these points. It doesn't matter where Hart finishes as long as it's ahead of Greco.
You're right. And then we keep talking about the number 98 of Hayden Barler. Hayden Barler was right there at the right place, holding back, sitting in fourth behind Forrester. So then those two were able to move up the 2 spots.
And what a statement. This would be Barler coming in his first CORR race of the season, just taking a podium.
Listen, this is why we tell everybody to come race. You never know what's going to happen. And then we're noticing that Hart and Greco, they're going to have to take different lines. If Greco wants to get around Hart, he's going to have to do it. We're seeing this right now, a little side by side. Hart's going to be able to keep that inside line, push him out a little bit.
Yeah, that looks like Greco going to have a better line going into this one than Hart. Hart going to have to take the high line. We're going to see Greco might be able to get it. Is Greco going to get it? Yeah, Hart going to get hung out to dry. May drop all the way back to 5th. Does momentarily. McCormick gets around him. He's going to get back around McCormick, but not what Hart needed. So Greco now up into 3rd. Hart into 4th. Tough break for Hart. Now he's got his hands full of McCormick.
But maybe that's the reason why Greco wanted to stay out there, so he could be set up for that other line, taking that inside, knowing that there's only a few more turns before the finish.
Yeah, it really is a game of chess out here. You're setting moves up, corners and corners ahead. So white flag flies for Ryder Forrester.
But that move right there also just showed why, Greco's podium every single time. It takes consistency. It takes the time to know when to set up that pass, how to do it, and in the correct spot.
Oh, look at that Greco all over the back of Barler. Getting a little aggressive there. All right, so Barler in the 2nd spot, Forrester up front, Greco in the 3rd. Greco, your points leader. 2nd in points, Hart is in the 4th spot. Got a couple corners remaining. We're going to see if Hart's got something for Greco. Right now, Greco trying to get around to that 2nd spot. Barler, the newcomer, man, getting a lot of pressure, but you got to give the young kid credit just holding on. So Forrester now coming around. The Maxxis Tires checker flag is out. It is going to be Ryder Forrester victorious. Newcomer Hayden Barler 2nd. Points leader Ryder Greco in 3rd. 2nd in points, Crew Hart finishing up in 4th as those Maxxis Tires checkered flag flies. What a race. Youth Restricted never disappoints, and today was definitely one that did not disappoint either. But right there, Ryder Forrester waiting till the time was right, took the lead, never looked back, walking away victorious. We're going to catch up with all of our podium finishers when we return here to round number 9 of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series.
The Championship Off-Road Racing Series is brought to you by Starstream Pro. Stream live video, telemetry, and date from anywhere on the planet.
My name is George Hamill with Starstream Pro. Technology has really given us the opportunity to showcase off-road racing. Now we can go live from any car, anytime on the planet.
The sport needs something like Starstream, and it's here.
To be able to be one of the first people to have it in their trucks is going to be pretty cool, and hopefully it's a great thing for the sport.
This small computer and a GoPro, a couple cables and a Starlink, you can watch all the in-car cameras live.
With Starstream combining to a Starlink network, it's so easy to plug this in. On our short course truck, we actually have it all self-contained. 2 battery packs, one powers the Starlink, one powers the Starstream. Super easy to take off and put on our desert car later when we leave the track.
It's never been done before at this level. The fact that we're going to be able to be on live TV and they can check in from multiple different drivers within seconds of each other, I think it's going to be a great thing for the sport.
Built to get more out of every mile, K&N's lineup of performance diesel products delivers the airflow, protection, and endurance diesel drivers demand. From performance air intakes, engine and cabin filters, to oil and fuel filters, engineered to unlock your diesel's potential, mile after mile. Built for the highway. Proven on long grades. Ready for wherever the road ends. K&N Performance Diesel.
Welcome back to the iconic Firebird Motorsports Park. just outside of Phoenix, Arizona in Chandler. This is round number 9 of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series. Jim Beaver here in the booth. Been calling the action with Tiffany Stone, who had to step out because she's going to be on the podiums here momentarily. But speaking of that race, it was youth restricted. This is your Rugged Radio's results for youth restricted. Ryder Forrester coming away with top honors. Let that battle with Greco and Hart ensue. Slipped through when he needed to and walking away with the top spot. Hayden Barler, newcomer to the class, first time out here in CORR this season, taking away the second spot. Ryder Greco, your points leader, in third. Crew Hart in fourth, second in points. Nixon McCormick in fifth. Great run from Nixon. Lathrop, BJ Hawthorne, Blaine Proctor, Lariat Lawrence, and Brayton Penrod rounding out your top 10 for youth restricted. 11 through 15, it is Carter Hoganus, Carly Awarapius, Hudson McCormick, Addie Atterbury, and Triton Lawrence rounding out your 15-car field. Got a look there once again of this beautiful facility out here in Chandler at Firebird Motorsports Park, doing more than just off-road racing out here. They've had rallycross. They have the NHRA drag racing. They've got a road course here. Used to do drag boat racing, so definitely a multi-purpose facility out here with some amazing grounds. A little of everything out here, and definitely a fun place to come watch some action. But we've still got some really exciting stuff coming before we take our first break, and that exciting stuff, you know what it is? Yeah, it's podium interviews. We're going to go down to Tiffany Stone with our youth-restricted podium.
Thank you so much, Jim. Yes, I absolutely love watching this class. It was really cool to call from the booth. You guys and girls all did a wonderful job out there. Ryder Greco, let's talk about it. Obviously, it's not where you want to be. You're still adding some more points to that. There's been a battle between you and Hart all season long. You were able to take that last spot over here for round 9. Walk me through your day.
It's a little hectic. Biked it a little bit on 3 when the caution went out. Messed up at the start in 1, let crew get around me, and then just got past him in 2 at the end of the race, and then finished 3rd.
Well, you've done it here. I know kind of how hectic it can be. You had an early full comp yellow, then another full course yellow, and you had to bring yourself back. But you've done it here, adding some more points, heading into round 10 tomorrow. Who would you like to thank for today?
My mom, my dad, Bryson and Jacob, Sandcraft EVP Mode, 518 Designs, Kirky, SRI, SPA, R&R Steel, and all my friends and family who came out to support me.
Nice job. Congratulations once again. Hop up on 3 for me. Heading over here to the newcomer of this season and this series, we're going to talk to you, Hayden Barler. Now, Hayden, this was your first race, but then I seen that you had somebody in your ear that is very familiar with this racetrack. You had the Ledbetters out there in your ear. Talk to me about your day because you kind of shook things up. We saw you in 4th going into the last few laps, and then you were able to capitalize on that mistake we saw between Greco and Hart, sitting there showcasing why you do that, why you sit back and you capitalize. So tell me about your day. First time here, getting a podium, shaking things up.
Yeah, I was just trying to just be here to have fun, and I was just sitting back and forth waiting for a mistake or two, and when that happened, I just came up and took the position that I could take.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Obviously, you've got a great person in your ear for a spotter. Anything specific or anything that you kind of took and you were like, okay, I get this, I understand it, and was able to implement it for this round?
Just close the door, don't let anybody pass.
Sounds like a solid plan. Close the door, don't let anybody pass. Well, who would you like for helping you out today, getting you here 2nd place for round 9?
I'd like to thank Mom, Dad, God, HPR Race Team, Andy, and Sandcraft Tires for hooking me up with some wheels.
Wonderful. Well, hopefully we'll see you for round 10 tomorrow. Shake some more things up. Nice job. Hop up on number 2. And first and foremost, I do want to say my apologies for myself and Jim Beaver. We've been calling Ryder Forrester this entire time in the 695. But Zoe Easton over here, because when she took off her helmet, I was expecting somebody else, but you showed everybody what you need to do out there, why you sit back, why you watch everything, have the correct lines. Talk to me about your day, and of course, taking this top spot, because we know that Ryder broke his arm after a round, so you stepped in for him.
I was just waiting for mistakes to happen. I knew it was going to come. I saw crew biking. I'm like, that's not good. It's going to come eventually. And then I saw him run into him, so I just took it because that's what I wanted to do.
You took it. Well, you did exactly what you were supposed to do here. Nice job on that, taking the top spot, showcasing what not only yourself, but anybody coming in here, helping some other drivers out, filling in for them. So who would you like to thank for round 9?
I'd like to thank the Forrester family for letting me be their driver since Ryder broke his arm. I'd like to thank my parents for driving me out here and making it possible. I'd like to thank R&R Steel, God, and everyone else that helps me.
Well, you've done it here. Now you get to go back to the pit, celebrate a little bit, changing things up here for the points for the rest of the field. Congratulations, Zoe, once again. Hop up on number 1 for me. Big congratulations to our top 3 finisher. And once again, like I said, my apologies from Jim and I for saying Ryder Forster. It was Zoe Easton. Nice. Back up to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Tiffany. And, my apologies to Zoe Easton. Tell you what, that's one heck of a fill-in driver when you fill in against this field and take away with a victory. So Zoe Easton got the target on her back heading into tomorrow, but great effort by that young lady to walk away with top honors in Youth Restricted. One of our closest battles all season long have come out of that class. So right now, we're going to take a short break, a short intermission. For those of you here and those of you tuning in at home, we will be the same place here on Racer Network when we return. It's going to be about an hour break. We're going to be back at 3:45 Eastern Time, 12:45 Pacific. We're going to have our opening ceremonies for the afternoon, and then we're going to go right into our Pro NA class. So intermission is going to be about an hour. We'll be back at 3:45 East, 12:45 Pacific Time, right here to Firebird Motorsports Park in round number 9 of the Championship Off-Road Racing Series.